Hey everyone, Gio here from Fandom United, back with a video, and this is kind of an experiment, something I want to try. Anybody who watches my channel knows that I cover the news, the movie news, on Sundays, and it's news of the previous week. And I've always thought about finding a way to where I can talk about movie news faster and deliver it to you instead of waiting all the way until Sunday. So, starting with this video, I'm going to start doing videos on the daily. I don't know what the name of it will be called, maybe Fandom United Daily. But the idea is Monday through Friday, I will recap news of that day, news that I find interesting, and present it to you in a conversation of sorts between you and I. So this is actually my second time filming it. The first time I filmed this, the audio cut out halfway through, and I didn't know until I was editing the video. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, nothing happens as far as technical issues. But let's get right into it. Let's talk about some movie news that happened today, and we're going to start with Spider-Man: No Way Home. Now, this falls more on the rumor side than it does the news. But nevertheless, if you've been watching my channel, I have been all over Spider-Man No Way Home. I love the idea of seeing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire on the big screen at least one more time. And this piece of information further adds to the confirmation that these rumors are true. Let me show you what I mean. So earlier this weekend, this past weekend, it was reported that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland will be in New York City this week for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're friends and they just wanted to see each other after a year-long pandemic. Or it could be the fact that Spider-Man No Way Home is releasing this December, and we are a couple days away from July, so it's time to start marketing this movie, right? To the right of your screen is a fan who ran into Tobey Maguire in New York. Now, it's one thing to post a selfie, but his captions are the bigger news. Take this with a grain of salt, but here's what the caption said, and it might be a little small on your screen, so I will read it. The fan said in the caption, "All seriousness, he's going to be in the new movie. I know that for a fact. He's going to do another movie, and then that's it." So another fan responded, "What was his expression when you asked about Spider-Man No Way Home?" To which he responded, "He winked at me and smiled." Guys, this is more confirmation that these rumors are true. And we're going to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire one more time. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'll be the first to say Tom Holland is not my favorite Spider-Man. The MCU Spider-Man movies, they're okay for what they are. But if you tell me that the Spider-Man I grew up with, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, are going to appear one more time in a MCU movie, pretty much a live action version of Into the Spider-Verse, I'm in. I'm all in. All of a sudden, Spider-Man No Way Home isn't just another Spider-Man movie. It's an event movie. It's an event. And I hope we get a trailer very soon. Maybe around the time we're about to be 4 episodes into Loki. So, and Black Widow comes out in 2 weeks, I believe. I think we're right around the corner from getting a trailer. To add fuel to the fire, this was also posted on social media but then deleted. Check this out. A Russian movie theater chain posted this on their social media, and it's a bit blurry, I apologize, but it reads like this. One of the most anticipated films, the joint project between Marvel and Sony, Spider-Man No Way Home, will appear on the screens this year, and this trio will unite to fight evil. Flex arm emoji. Are you looking forward to a stunning cinematic, and which Spider is your favorite? Cool, right? But why would they delete it? Probably because they jumped the gun, like so many others. We're talking Jamie Foxx on Instagram. We're talking about a South American movie chain that also posted a teaser that they weren't supposed to show. And the teaser showed the title card, Spider Man No Way Home. But then it did a little graphic shake that we see in Spider Man Into the Spider Verse. And so, look, put the pieces together. It's far from a confirmation. All we're waiting on is Sony and Marvel to announce it. But guys, this is happening. It's happening. But that's just speculation on my part. You guys let me know what you think. Are there any truth to these rumors? Who are you looking forward to seeing? And let me know your thoughts. Okay, moving on to another piece of exciting news. So this past weekend, we were talking about Transformers Rise of Beast, how the property is adapting the Beast Wars storyline. And if you're a longtime fan of Transformers, you got to be extremely excited, especially coming off of that Bumblebee movie. But we got our first casting of that announced Transformers Rise of the Beast movie. And it's none other than Ron Perlman, who will be voicing Optimus Primal, a character with the ability to morph into a gorilla. This is perfect casting, guys. It's a perfect fit. Ron Perlman has a very distinct voice. You hear it without seeing him, and you know exactly who it is. He's done previous voice work for Batman the Animated Series. He's a big-time actor. He's somebody who you instantly recognize. This is great. I love this pairing right here. And as a refresher, here are some details on Transformers Rise of the Beast. It will be directed by Stephen Cable Jr., who did Creed 2, starring Anthony Ramos from In the Heights as an ex-military character, and Dominique Fishback from Judas and the Black Messiah as a tech-savvy character. Confirmed appearances from the Predacons, Maximals, and Terracons in 1994 Brooklyn, New York. This will be part of a full reboot that started with Bumblebee, lots of G1 influence, confirmed appearances of characters such as Optimus Primal, obviously, Airazor, Rhinox, Scourge, Nightbird, and also returning Optimus Prime, voiced by Peter Cullen, Bumblebee, and RC. I am a fan of this new direction that they are going. It's refreshing. I wish I had seen Bumblebee. You'll have to forgive me, my franchise fatigue carry over from the Michael Bay movies to Bumblebee. I wanted nothing more of Transformers. That was a mistake. That's on me. I will watch Bumblebee. And like you guys, I am excited for Rise of the Beast, okay? I watched the cartoons Beast Wars as a 6-7-year-old, and it's been over 20 years, so my memory's a little faint. But doing this research, it brought back some of those memories, some of those feelings. And like you, I will be watching this on the big screen. You got my money. You don't need to do anything more. Okay, maybe a teaser trailer, some images of what the Predacons and Maximals will look like, but that's it. You got my money. But leave me your thoughts. Are you convinced? Are you excited about Transformers again? I'm curious to know what you think. All right, well, moving on, we got a number of movies that began production today, June 28th, Monday. The first one was Aquaman 2. This post comes from an @CreepyPuppet. It says, Day 1, hashtag Aquaman 2. The location that they're filming in is unknown at the moment. But what is interesting is the working title, Necrus. And I did some research and I found out that Necrus is an underwater city that only exists in a physical plane for brief periods of times. Eventually it disappears, and whenever it reemerges, it's in a different location. Necrus is also known as the Black City, and it was once ruled by the tyrannical Mongo who hated surface dwellers. Interesting for a movie called Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Could Necrus be the Lost Kingdom? We'll find out soon enough. As a refresher, here is the cast for Aquaman 2. Obviously, Jason Momoa is returning as Aquaman, Amber Heard as Mira. You got Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Black Manta. You got Patrick Wilson as the Ocean Master. And then joining them is Game of Thrones OG Pilou Aspect, who played Euron Greyjoy. He was the a-hole in Game of Thrones who tried to get with Cersei. I think, based on that description of Necros, he could be the tyrannical leader who hates surface dwellers. I think that it would be a cool fitting, and talk about a Game of Thrones reunion, the two of them going at it. I'd be very interested to see that. You guys, if you have seen my videos, you know my thoughts on the first Aquaman movie. As far as comic book movies go, both Marvel and DC, Aquaman is one of the most rewatchable movies because it has everything in one movie. You got action, you got adventure, you got sci-fi with the world of Atlantis. You got romance. You got horror. The Trent sequence. Is it the best movie? No, but as far as rewatchability goes, I could throw it on anytime, and it's a fun watch. So you guys let me know your thoughts on Aquaman and Lost Kingdom. What do you think? What are your theories? Inform me if I've missed something, and I would appreciate your comments. But let's move on to another movie that began production this today, and that is Knives Out 2. Here's a social media post from Rian Johnson with the caption, "And we're off. Day one of filming on the next Benoit Blanc mystery. Thanks to all the lovely, patient people here in Greece for letting us do all this murdering on their peaceful shores. Yes, Knives Out 2 has begun filming in Greece. And as a refresher, here is part of the ensemble that was announced. Again, it seemed like for 2 weeks they kept announcing new castings for this ensemble, which includes Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Catherine Hahn, Leslie Odom Jr., Kate Hudson, Madeline Klein, and Jessica Henwick, all of them joining Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, the mystery detective who solves cases. I love that they are centering these movies on Daniel Craig's character and how he goes from place to place, organization to organization, family to family, and just solves these mysteries, takes us on a ride. I will say this will be a challenge for Rian Johnson because that first movie was so smart, it was so clever, so witty that it's hard to repeat that a second time. But we'll see what he does. The first one was all about a family. This one could be something totally different. We'll know more soon enough, but for now, leave me your thoughts on Knives Out 2, the cast, the ensemble. This will be premiering exclusively on Netflix in 2022. I thought Netflix did a great job. It was a brilliant move to buy the rights to this franchise. They spent nearly $500 million. Well worth it. Well, we'll see if it's well worth it. There's a lot of potential and promise, but Rian Johnson seems like he knows what he's doing. He's in his comfort zone, so let's wait and see. Last, we have John Wick Chapter 4. So this one was pretty interesting, the way that they revealed this. There was no social media post, but if you were part of a subscribed special text chain that was used to promote John Wick Chapter 3, you got a text message that read something like this: "It's begun. Consider this a professional courtesy. John Wick Chapter 4 is now in production." So, hey, if you got one of those text messages, you fell in like one of those assassins. But how cool was that for the studio to do that kind of marketing for this movie? Okay, this John Wick franchise, which remember at the start they didn't have a lot of confidence in, but now it's riding at a high. We got John Wick Chapter 4 and 5 on the way. As a reminder, here is the cast for John Wick 4. You got Bill Skarsgård, Donnie Yen, Hiroyuki Sanada, Lawrence Fishburne, Keanu Reeves, and Ian McShane, who's not pictured there. But John Wick Chapter 4 arrives May 27, 2022. John Wick is going to need some allies in this one. Last time we saw him, he jumped off a building and is heavily injured. The whole world of assassins is after him. I mean, everybody's an assassin now. and it's his duty to take out the high table and end this once and for all. So John Wick Chapter 4 arrives in 2022. You guys let me know your thoughts on that. What are you looking forward to? I'm curious to know that. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is an experiment. These videos, the length of it depends on how much news drops, how much news that interests me, and I can have a conversation with you guys. But thank you so much for joining me. Before I go, I want to remind you some videos I have on the channel. My F9, the Fast Saga spoilers review is currently on the channel right now. I'll leave a link in the description. My face says it all. If you want to know more, check out that video. And also, a buddy of mine, we did Batman the Long Halloween Part 1, a spoilers review. If you read the comics and you've seen the movie, check out my review. That will also be in the description. I had a fun time. We had a fun discussion. We dived deep into this very complex and well-told story, a story that was told over 13 comics. And it's one of the best DC animated films. So even if you haven't read the comic, check out Batman the Long Halloween Part 1. It's available to own digitally. I highly recommend it. But if you're not trying to buy the movie, you want to rent it, it will be available in, I believe, a week and a half. So there's that. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this. Again, this is an experiment. I will be back tomorrow with another video, and the content depends on how much is released. So for now, I want to wish you all a good night. And again, leave your thoughts and comments. Do a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And until tomorrow, have a good one.